So I interviewed Connell Almighty. You know him?
Who?
Connell Almighty?
Connell. I don't know. I probably got to see him. I don't know. I might know.
Connell Almighty, he was a one-time high-ranking member of the Latin Kings.
Okay.
There was a narrative that the creation of the Bloods in New York was a response to the Latin Kings, which he denied that. He said that the Bloods and the Latin Kings were cool at first.
Man, roll the clip. So, like, one thing that I've seen is, like, some people say, oh, the Bloods were made or brought to New York in response to the Latin Kings.
That's a lie. That's a lie. See, because when they started under us. Like, they were supposed to recruit everybody that could not be king were going to fly under the 5-star banner. They were going to fly with us. The whole beef, we was at peace with them until the shit popped off. I think it was 3 Lower and C-73 where it popped off. When that shit hit the fan over there with the Nietas over a fucking pack of cigarettes, that's how the war started. Before that, everything was Gucci, everything was peace.
Yeah, the Bloods and Latin Kings was cool.
The beef came about from the Nietas.
Well, at the time, right, people really didn't know, certain people didn't know the difference between a Nieta or a king because they roll together. Kings and Nietas was together. So when it came to drama, if I get in beef with any, and that's what happened with me, another brother got into a beef with a Latino. He wasn't with nothing. We know he wasn't nothing. He whooped them out. A day later, they in the yard waiting for me because they knew the dude was under me. Saying, yo, that was one of our brothers. I'm like, so which brother was, who brother was it? Was he a Nieta or was he a king? Which one? Yo, that don't matter. No. I need to know which one he was so we know which side we beat up. Because y'all just adding dudes on to y'all and y'all know they not even down with y'all, but that's how they work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made them win because they would back each other up, even if they wasn't one of them. But you can guarantee when they backed them up, they became one of them. But as far as with the beef with them, I would say it didn't derive from the Latin Kings, and the Bloods was created because of the Latin Kings, because OG Mac already had his mindset stuck on creating this anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's just the name he used. If he was a Crip, everybody would have been Crips. If it was Black Pea Stone, that's what everybody would have been, Black Pea Stones. It was just the name that he used in Bloods, and now people looking at LA and they looking at what the Bloods did and the work that they put in, and the Bloods sound more gruesome. Blood, you know, we shed blood. But when it started, it wasn't about what it is today. You know, BLOOD, brotherly love, override oppression. And it was rules to it. It was guidelines, things you can and can't do. You can't be robbing people. You can't be stealing, sneak thieving. You can't be, drugs and backbiting brothers. It was rules to that. It was like, and it was good bylaws you had to live by. But, as time went on, ain't nobody was living by that no more. And you're dealing with people that's young, a bunch of young brothers who think that they are able to run corporate America, the streets and all these different things. They thought they was drug pharmacists, and you give them a little bit of power, it's over.
So you've heard the narrative before, though, right? That the Bloods were created in response to the Latin Kings, though, because they were saying that the Latin Kings was oppressing the brothers in there and everything. Yep. But you're saying that that's not true.
No, they was oppressing, and blacks was oppressing them. It was even. You know why? You know why you can't say that? Because they speaking about one building, C-73. You got HDM, you got C-95, C-74, 76. You got a whole bunch of buildings, some big-ass island. So you can't say that because black people been oppressing Latinos for years. But then at the same time, you got to think about the Latinos that was standing up, not accepting that Caballo and dudes that was holding it down. That's like, you ain't oppressing nothing over here because the blacks was doing it. The 5%ers was doing it. So when people be talking about, I was created because they was oppressing us. Oh, so then the Latin Kings was created because the blacks was oppressing them. Nah, man. It was created because it was systematically created. It was something that was, I believe, was written. That was written already. That was supposed to happen. It was in the cause already. That I read a book before where it said that Latinos. This is by the year 2030 something. That Latinos is going to dominate the prison population, and the blacks and whites and all that and Asians is going to kind of be like almost extinct because there's going to be so many Latinos in prison. That's by the year 2030 something. I said this on one of my channels over 3 years ago. And look what's going on now. All of these Latinos is being let into this country. This book told you about stuff that's happening now from back then. And they all coming in. And the criminals and all of these, you're going to see the population start to turn over.